What up, everybody? It's Casper. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the movie Bruce Almighty, so let's get straight to it. Bruce Almighty is a 2003 movie. It's PG-13 and it's an hour and 41 minutes. It's directed by Tom Shadyac. It's starred by Jim Carrey, Jennifer Aniston, Morgan Freeman. So with this movie right here is definitely, in my opinion, a classic in just many aspects. This movie goes in right away just trying to be funny. So this movie, Bruce Almighty, you got Jim Carrey. He plays the character Bruce. Bruce is like a reporter type of person who works for the newscast team. He's having a lot of bad luck. His coincidences in life are just like, wow, are you kidding me? He's questioning God. He's questioning his life. He's questioning, like, why am I not going through high praises in life? He goes through a lot of actions and events in his life. By his side is his wife, who's played by Jennifer Aniston. So that whole couple vibe right there, it felt real. I like the couple between them. I thought they presented themselves really well. After Jim Carrey is going through bad luck, he meets Morgan Freeman, who's playing God in the movie. God gives him a little talk and tells him, like, hey, if you think, if you were God, you can handle all this. I'm gonna give you the powers. Morgan Freeman, aka God, gives Jim Carrey some powers to act like God, and Jim Carrey doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know that these powers are real. He doesn't believe it till he sees more supernatural stuff happen. Started off with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, for me, is one of my favorite actors, and how funny he is with his mannerisms. He has a character every time. I could only imagine being on set and working with this type of dude, meaning, like, you're gonna put out a line, but he might mess up on purpose just to make you laugh type of stuff. Like, he's a goofball. I feel like he's a very smart dude. He knows his lines. He makes you laugh very easily, In this movie, his mannerisms and the way he talked kept me in tune, because I was like, there's gonna be a next funny scene. The lines that he was presented in here, he added an extra emphasis on just trying to be funny. You saw when he was going through it, he really went through it, and his emotions when he had a lot of bad luck, I thought that was very funny as well, because kind of feel it, a lot of people have bad luck, and you see him going through it, and it's like, damn, I kind of went through stuff like that. Jennifer Aniston, her performance in the movie, her presence in general fit that couple vibe, presentation, and just performing the lines. Her speech is very clear. Her look is fresh in the sense of, like, that could be a housewife. She looks like a housewife. She did an okay job. There's some parts where, like, in my opinion, I feel like she was just trying to hide her laugh because she's acting in front of Jim Carrey. And in her trying to pour out emotion, when she's praying to God, I thought that was a little cheesy, but the emotion reached out to the audience. So Jennifer Aniston, I'm not the biggest fan of her acting because of her movie roles. Is always just love type of movies, even comedies as well, but in this movie I'll say that her vibe fit the movie for sure. Morgan Freeman, who plays God in the movie, if it's not Jim Carrey, then it's definitely Morgan Freeman for being the standout. His voice is one of a kind, that's just first of all, and the way he looks and presented himself in the movie by straight looking at Jim Carrey, that attitude and confidence in his acting, you can for sure see. There was no extra, like, cheesiness of a grin where Morgan Freeman is talking to Jim Carrey, where you see, like, he was laughing before. Morgan Freeman put a lot of good serious moments and non-cheesy moments where he looked like he was smiling, but there was times where he did. But Morgan Freeman, the voice made it happen, his presence, good choice. Like, Steve Carell's also in the movie. He's one of the anchors on the news TV crew who kind of has, like, a grudge, or is trying to, like, he's trying to just be better than Jim Carrey in the movie. But I'll say Steve Carell, for what he had, it was pretty funny. Steve Carell's one of those other actors that just look goofy, and he makes it very funny and natural funny. So Steve Carell did a good job as well. Good placement in the movie, and it's a character you kind of needed to make the movie very funny. So good job for Steve Carell being in the movie too, for what he had. There's a group of gangsters, and I guess the main leader for that group is Noel Julemi. He's casted as a hood. That's his name in the movie. He always plays the same character in, like, every movie, like a Hector. Wanted to give a quick shout out to him. That scene with him when all his gangster homies with the monkey, I thought that was funny. My favorite scene in the movie, I'll probably just say when Bruce has his powers, all that is funny. But when Bruce, before the powers, and he's going through all those coincidences, like when he steps on the puddle before he meets God, I thought that was hilarious. I feel like that stuff happens to me, and that coincidence right there hit. I thought that was funny. This whole movie is hilarious. The other part of the movie where I thought it was funny, when he gets the powers and he tries to have these breaking stories where he goes to news reporters already at a police academy or something like that, and there's already a news reporter there, and you see Bruce, and like, hey Bruce, you know, trying to be an a-hole to him, and then Bruce locks those newscasters' van, a dog finds the body, and Bruce is there to report that story. But it was just funny how, you know, it had to be Jimmy Hoffa's body. I thought that was hilarious. The fact that I rewatched it and caught that. Glad I rewatched it because I forgot about a lot of the detail type of stuff, especially like what I just said about the Jimmy Hoffa. But those are my favorite scenes, and I had a good time with the movie. He made Evan Almighty with Steve Carell. Say Bruce Almighty, out of those two, the Bruce Almighty stands out. The powers and all the goofiness, I thought it all fit. I thought it was creative, funny. Director and the writing on it for just how Jim Carrey was gonna do all that, I thought that was perfect for him. So shout out to the writers and directors. They knew what they were doing, especially with Jim Carrey. They didn't do too much to have extra powers where like this dude is gonna go off and destroy the world. Everything in the movie made sense for what it was. You didn't overreach for like a whole worldwide aspect. I think it did a good job just focusing in the city. I recommend this movie to people who haven't seen it. After my watching Bruce Almighty, I'm gonna have to give it a 9 out of 10. It's my movie review for the movie Bruce Almighty. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.